Welcome back, Watch fans. Today we are talking about grifters and lowlife and degenerates on social media. What to look out for. What are the key signs of lowlives and degenerates who are out to steal your children's tuition money? Unbelievable, but true. Now, they all have the same look. First of all, the only outlier in that group is Juan and Kino. That's those are the low-life degenerates in Miami who are going to be deported in January by El Trompo. They're going to be deported to Isla del Cucarachas and Isla del Basura, which is where they illegally migrated from. Unbelievable, but true. Now, what do all the grifters have in common? All these grifters on social media who are spooking watches, they all got the dirty Sanchez mustache. That's right, they all got dirty Sanchez mustaches, and they got those tattoos. Okay, we're talking about, Theo and Homo. He's got the dirty Sanchez. You got that Mike Nouveau with the tattoos, and does he have the dirty Sanchez? I don't know if I think he wears the baseball cap. And then you got the what's the other guy? Kraft and Tailored. That's the guy, the other guy with the tattoos and the dirty Sanchez. He's in where is he? I think he's somewhere in LA. These guys in LA, they're always late to the trends. They always hop on the trends after it starts somewhere else, right? These mooch bums, and they're all peddling the same shitter watches. They're all running a scam to, again, steal your children's tuition money. You know what the scam is? It's called a pump and dump. That's right, they are pumping up shitter watches. And I just did a video about this, right? They accumulate a bunch of watches from a shitter brand, and then they tell you how cool it is. They describe it on social media, like in this. I mean, they must hire poets. They hire poets on Instagram to spew the praises of these watches. And by the way, there's another dirty Sanchez, this bro, which is Watch Bros London. Watch Bros London is that's the other part of the international dirty Sanchez brotherhood. and then you got the guy at Phillips. What's his name? He's got the dirty Sanchez. I think he writes the catalog descriptions. Or he does the social media or something. I don't know. But all these guys are part of the dirty Sanchez conspiracy to separate you from your hard-earned money and steal your children's tuition money. That's what these low-life bums are doing. So what do? Well, first of all, what they do is because they're not really stupid. I mean, they're not geniuses, but they're kind of middle brow, right? They're not real forward thinkers. What they do is they see kind of like, hey, this is going to be, they see, like, for example, they might glom onto kind of more of a visionary, I don't know, like that John Goldberger or whatever, right? Anyway, what these guys do is they buy a shitter brand, they start building up a position in Universal Genève or Ebel or whatever, Cartier-shaped watches, girl-sized watches, as you guys like to call them. They're not girl-sized, that was classical size, but anyway, whatever. And then they build up a position, and then they start pumping these watches on social media. They take these little wrist shots like this, with the water, and like this over here. Now if they do this like this, to show you that it's actually a handmade buttonhole like that. That's what they do. They take nice photos, and then they write these elaborate prose. I mean, they must hire poets. They probably hire, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think who's a poet, and I didn't know it, but there's a bunch of these poets out there for hire. They get AI to write this stuff. All the stuff is like fines. I mean, literally every one of these social media posts, they all have that same kind of look and feel. I mean, these dirty Sanchez bros, I think they have one guy who does all their dirty Sanchez work for them, right? By the way, do you know what a dirty Sanchez is? Google it. Google it. That's right. Unbelievable, but true. By the way, make sure you click the like, subscribe button, and if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you send us some money. Wire instructions are in the video description below. Make sure you subscribe to our free newsletter. That's right, you want to get our free newsletter so that you don't miss the boat. Now, by the way, this boat is not going to Isla del Cucarachas. No, sir. This boat is going. That's the next rocket to the moon. That's right, the next rocket to the moon. So anyway, so these bums, they've been pumping Cartier-shaped cases. Now they're pumping Audemars Piguet. What do they call them now? They're calling them geezer watches. That's the integrated bracelets. The integrated bracelet watch from AP, made in the 70s. Like the Shah of Iran watch, which, by the way, is a piece of shit. Now, we've been talking about that watch for a while, the Cobra. We were the first ones to cover it, to tell you that the trend was happening. That's right, this channel. So make sure you subscribe to our free newsletter. Link in the video description below. And make sure you push like and subscribe, you guys. We got to get that algorithm. We need the algorithm. We got to rig the algorithm so it works in our favor. So we got some illegal migrants hopping on the boat. Back to Isla del Cucarachas. That's Juan and Kino right there. Juan and Kino hopping on that boat. They don't want to row. They don't want to row. Remo, papi, remo. No, they want to easy ride back to Isla del Cucarachas. That's right. That's what's happening, my friends. Anyhow, so the Dirty Sanchez, how do you recognize these grifters? So number one is they all got the Dirty Sanchez mustache. They all got a Dirty Sanchez. They have tattoos. They got a baseball cap. I mean, they're all basically riding these trends from, like, I don't know, 10, whatever the trend was 5-10 years ago. That's what they're doing. By the way, there's also kind of a semi-Dirty Sanchez, which is kind of like, I call it the Buchiach, which is the guy who's got they got the pendant, or they have their company logo. They always have these horrible, terrible taste. These guys are tacky, low lives, bad taste, and they make a logo in diamonds on a diamond chain, and they wear it. That's that Dirty Sanchez Piccolino, and you got those Indian brothers in Miami, Timepiece Trading. That's right. I think the guy even has a tattoo. They got the tattoo of the company on his wrist. You know who else does that? The Puerto Rican Charlie Brown, who works at Luxury Bazaar. He's got one right over here. I mean, who does that? Who puts a tattoo of not even their own company, the company that they work for? I guess that's loyalty, right? Misplaced loyalty is what you call it. I would call it. Anyway, this is the boat that you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss this boat. You got to click the like, subscribe button so that you know what the next trend is, and you don't get caught on a sinking ship with the rats. The rats are fleeing. That's right, the rats are fleeing the ship. The rats, the wharf rats. The wharf rats are all over here. You don't want to be one of these wharf rats like Juan and Kino, or that bum with the clubfoot JJ Buchiach, and ArchieLuxury, the other bum. I mean, those guys. I mean, ArchieLuxury. That guy's like always way late to the party. I mean, he's talking about watches that were going out of fashion 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I mean, that guy's a no good bum. So if you watch those channels, you're gonna end up with shitter collections like him. You're gonna be like that guy Keslowitz. This guy he was being groomed. That's right, he was being groomed by Archie, and he ended up with shitter watches. I mean, he went from one shitter to another. He went from a Rolex Sprite or whatever, Rolex GMT, whatever the hot thing was that the kids were buying, and to a Patek, a shitter perpetual, like the wrong one. Syringe hands. It looks like a retro vintage. You don't want retro vintage. You got to have real vintage, okay? Don't be a sucker for things that look old-fashioned. If you want something that looks vintage, you got to buy vintage. Now, if you get something like this, which is actually what we're wearing on the wrist today, which is a Rolex date. Now, you can't see the beautiful sunburst because it's cloudy, which is why, actually, I should not be wearing this watch. This is a faux pas, actually. This is a fashion faux pas. But I do have a blue stripe. So you see, this is very advanced, but this is not a watch you should be wearing right now because, it's a little bit, it's the winter already, right? It's the winter. Unbelievable true. They actually have winter here in California. Yes, that's right. By the way, so what these, sorry, I got distracted. So what these Dirty Sanchez bros do is they write these posts on social media. They sing the praises, all poetic, about the watch. I mean, they write these long articles. The Hodinky guys, they all wear 5 letters of sweaters like that Ben Clymer, that dirty Sanchez. They all do the same bullshit, and then they take these pictures with the outfit, like, make it look, I don't know, poetic or bullshit. And then you drop the watch in the water. You see, this is a summer watch. This is not really for this. I should have been wearing a different watch, but I got to show you guys what things to do and what not to do. What to do, or as Hodinky says, how to wear it and how not to wear it. Actually, this is not that bad. You can get away with it. It's a rubber strap. Unbelievable but true. I think they might call it sailcloth. I don't know if it's sailcloth, but anyway, in case you fall in the water, the strap is not going to get ruined. It's quite versatile, as you can see. I'm just showing you how versatile this is. See, versatility. You guys see do you see this versatility? You see that? Don't try this at home. Don't try that at home. I think, what do the kids call it? They call it the drip or the fit or the drip. They get all these new words coming out. Like, I feel so old. I don't even know what these people are talking about. And then they wear these short shorts and the dirty Sanchez mustaches and baseball caps. I don't know. I feel so uncool. I feel so uncool. Unbelievable. Anyway, so these mooch bums, they pump up these watches on social media. They get you to buy it, and then they move on to the next thing. So let me tell you the scams right now. Okay, let me give you the list of the watches being pumped up. Number 1, Universal Genève. UG is a pump and dump. Number 2, Ebel. Ebel is a pump and dump. Number 3, which is kind of a modern watch, which is a desperate pump, which is a Purnell. Purnell. That's the Hungry Hippo. The Hungry Hippo. The big fat walrus, and the Tweety bird with the butthole eyes is pumping that watch. And what's the other pump? Then you got the Cartier, shaped Cartier. That's a global pump going on. And that thing is running out of steam because, Cartier, listen, I'm a fan of Cartier, kind of like, they've done some interesting things, right? But they're not, the Cartier crash, all that. You know who's wearing a Cartier crash in the 90s, 30, before all these bums were born, before these guys even knew what a dirty Sanchez mustache was? The guy who actually gave dirty Sanchez mustaches, that was Al Goldstein. You know who Al Goldstein is? Al Goldstein, Midnight Blue, Screw magazine. Actually, Screw was not a magazine. It was more like a dirty newspaper. But yeah, famous, notorious publisher, Al Goldstein. You know who that is? Google him. We got some videos in his collection. But he used to wear I think he had 3 or 4 Cartier crashes. He also had an Audemars Piguet perpetual calendar, Quantième Perpetual, with his name on the back, Al Goldstein, it said, and that was sold by Philips. And Philips denied Al's, they wouldn't give him they didn't write anything nice about him in their catalog notes. Usually you'd expect that dirty Sanchez bro would write something, he'd wax poetic about, the provenance and whatever, but no, he did not. Maybe because he's a racist. But anyway, so what else are these guys pumping? The Cartier, and again, the geezer watches. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you right now, if you don't want to miss the boat, you want to know what the next big thing is? I'm going to tell you right now. We got to pull up the sleeve. We got to pull up, what do you call this? The fit? Drip check? See how it's matched? Yeah. So my friends, the next big thing is going to be Gerald Genta. That's right, I'm talking about Gerald Genta, the man himself, who made the Royal Oak, the Nautilus, but his own brand. He made some real funky watches. And you can get some deals. The problem is, if you have to do some servicing, if you have to service some of those watches, I'm talking about the perpetual calendars, high complications. Some of them are really funky. They're hard to wear. For the wrong person, but they're kind of cool. I mean, they're out there. I don't know what the service costs are. I don't know. They could be, I don't know. They could be could be catastrophic if something goes wrong, to be honest with you. But you can get some deals on those watches. The perpetual calendar on a strap, I've seen them going for like under 10 G's. Perpetual calendar on a strap, under 10. And if it's on a bracelet, they're in the 30s or whatever, but they're being accumulated. Although I think the strap is actually more interesting, to be honest. That's what I think. It's more versatile. You want versatility, right? Like on a strap, you got versatility. You could change the strap, you could do rubber, you could do whatever. But when it's on a bracelet, actually, I don't know. I'm really not a believer in watches on a bracelet. I mean, why do you need to have a piece of metal on your wrist? I mean, why do you need a piece of metal on your wrist? Unless you have some sort of, handcuff fetish. Like Curly, Uncle Chomo. Creepy Curly, Uncle Chomo. You know who that is? Oh, yeah, there we go. Now, where's our good friend Juan and Kino? They're going to hop on that. They're going to hop on that board and row their way back to Isla del Cucarachas. Remo, papi, Remo. You know what that is? Google it. All right, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Leave your nasty, vicious comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and send wires, send money now, send money now. By the way, you know what? At least click the ads, whatever ads you see here, click them 3-4 times. We gotta get the money in the door to pay the electric bill this month. Otherwise, the electric is gonna get shut off, and we're not gonna be able to bring you this content if there's no electricity. That's right.